Arratsaldeon. Zer moduz gaude? Ongi. Ondo. How are we? Zer moduz gaude? Oso ondo. Okay, so these are, I'm just gonna do my best. I have nothing prepared, as I ever do. But so I'm just trying to show you, right? In English we use, the personal pronouns of I, you, we, us, they, and it's entirely different. We do not have all of these. First of all, we don't have auxiliary verbs, and then second of all, we don't have different forms, right? And so to say, in English we don't say something is pleasing to me, right? Even though that's correct, right? But you would never say that's just not how we speak. We would say it's pleasing to me, right? We say I like, right? Again, that personal pronoun, I like, right? I love you, right? I eat, I am Etienne, I am sick, I am going, I give you a present, I will give you a present, I gave you a present, right? Notice those same things, I, you. It does not change, right? And even though everything I just said, they're all completely different. We don't associate them as being, very much different things in English, right? But they are. And you can imagine how difficult that must be, learning English and trying to figure all those things out. What's the difference between, I give you a present, or I love you, right? Or I love your shoes, or I like the weather, You have all these different things. And getting into the specifics of like what they're called, like possessive genitive, there's all these terms that it's kind of moot, like unless you're a linguist and I read this all the time. It's like, oh, this is in the possessive genitive case. And it's like, okay, whatever those two words mean, possessive genitive, right? But so you guys have already been exposed to this, nor, right? This is where you start, this nor. And I put the question mark here, nor, because I think that it's conducive to remembering and to memorizing, because rather than just who, very rarely, I'm not sure ever you say in English who, and it's not a question, right? It's always who. Who was that? Who is this, right? And I just put that there just so you remember that nor is who. It's always who, nor. Ni nice, I am, right? Can anybody tell me what berada is?
She is.
Yep, she is, he is, it is, right? What about gugara? We are, exactly. Susara, you are. Oshondo. Suek sarete. Yep, you plural. Y'all. Hayek dira. They are. Oshondo, right? Very good, very good. Off of this, right, this is isan. We kind of went into this last class. And off of this you get egon. That's the only one that I don't have up here. And agon is the same thing as nor, it's to be, but it's a state of being. It's either location or it's a temporary state of being, right? And it's, I would have it up here, I just didn't make one of these posters for it. But this is where you start, right? This is chapter 1, this is the introductory unit. You get introduced to this nor, right? And from that, you can learn how to say ni Etienne nice, right? Gardnerville Koa nice. I am from Gardnerville. I am Etienne. Biar Mendida Yuango nice. Tomorrow I will go to the mountain, right? And then, you know, it's a long time before you get exposed to these. These don't just start. They do pop up in, you know, examples and in, but you don't really get into exercises of using these until much later down the road. And we're not, you know, we're not going to. I'm just going to give you guys a brief explanation about these, right? So this is the auxiliary verb forms. These are the personal pronouns for nor. Isan, to be, right? This is called nor nori. Okay? And this, notice this is an I. Nor nori. Nori means to who. This I means to, right? Nori.
The I on the end?
Yeah, and it's really the RI. It really is the RI, but it's kind of confusing because nor is nor, and then nori is just nor with an I, but it's really the RI, right? So notice how, and see, and I did this to try to make it as straightforward as possible, right? See, this is me nice. Me is I, me, right? Nice, I am, right? Me, needy. Me, I, me, needy, to me.
Or with the RI.
RI is to me, right? To say, so what this is used for, nor no longer stays this. And this nor can become, what it becomes is something. So this is something to somebody, right? So, and that's why I put this, I did my best. It took me a while because, okay, I did these color codings myself because I think colors can help.
So we can see what.
Yeah, there's none of this color. I never saw anything color coded. And I just tried to keep it as straightforward as possible. So this nor is black, right? Nor is black, right? That's the ni, I, bera, gu, su, sue, haye, right? And then the black stays. This is me nice. The T is what indicates me, I, right? The O indicates he, she, him, her, or it. The gu stays the same. Su stays the same. Sue stays the same. And I, it stays the same. It's right there. Haye, right? And this sai is the nori. This is indicating that it's to, right? Sight, sai, to, me,
With the T.
right? Ni, this T, ni, right? Ni, di, needy, gustatzen sight. It is pleasing to me, right? You guys follow me? Am I totally just jacking up your world? And I don't mean to, I'm just trying to just give you guys that, this doesn't do everything in Basque. The auxiliary verb form changes, right? And you do not have to copy any of these down. I'm actually at some point going to give you guys this whole. I have these on on a sheet with all the synthetic verbs and a number of other things, right? And so then what happens, right, is you get these plural forms, right? And that's what these are. So sight becomes saiski, and this ski is the plural, right? So I would say sure zapatak, your shoes, gustatzen saiski. Saiski because it's shoes, they're plural, right? The verb, it has to be plural, right? And this is where it's like, it's a lot different than English. I always say, I like your shoes, or I like a book, I like, plural and singular. We don't have that facility, right? And at first it may seem like it's a bit much, that it's confusing that you have this plural singular distinction and that the verbs have to match, but it ends up being quite beneficial. It makes it very easy to distinguish what somebody's talking about, if they are talking about something plural or singular, because the verb will match, right? So,
So can you say that again? I like your shoes.
yeah, zure zapatak gustatzen zaizkit, right? Baina zure ilea, your hair, gustatzen zait. I like your hair. Singular, right? And then, and so you get a bunch of features from this nor nori, right? You could say ashtu sait, I forgot. Ashtu is forget. Sait, it literally means it I forgot from me. This nor nori, and I don't mean to really jack you up here. It not only is it to, but it can also be used as from, right? So you can say, like, we do not say this in English. This was one of the most difficult things that I had, and it's really not that difficult. I just you have to come to a deep understanding with it. You have to really just make sense of it. Like the famous example that they give you is nere boligrafoa erori sait. My pen fell. Right? What it really means is my pen fell from me, right? And we don't say that. I know it's the same thing in Spanish. There's something similar where it's like from me. It's a weird thing. We don't have it in English, but this nor nori you get a ton of stuff. The big one, niri gustatzen zait, ashtu zait. Erori site fell for me. Galdu site, right? I lost it. It was lost from me, right? A number of things. It's very cool. And this one is actually nor nori. I don't know how it's, if my explanation is coming across, if you guys are following me. This is one of the first ones. I actually grasped this like rather quickly. Some people really struggle with it. Like I ran into a lot of people that had a difficult time with the site, the nor nori, but it makes a lot of sense to me. The to me, and it wasn't until much later that I even learned that it could operate as from me. And so you just want to, it's to me. You learn that first. Okay, so then from there, right? Notice how this progression: nor nori, nor nork, nor nori nork, right? These things just keep these. You start with nor. Nor is in all of them. Nor nori, and then you get nor nork, and then you have one that has all three of them, right? So nor nork. This is the next one that you get exposed to after nor, I believe, like in the book. And nor nork. This is the possessive genitive case. This K. Same thing. Nor, k, nork. Right? And this is something we do not have a feature like this in English. It's very, nothing changes in English. It is different in Basque. We say, I love you. I love you. I being who, and you being whom, right? Whom do you love? I love you, right? In Basque, this nork is who. Who loves whom, right? I love you. It's maite saitu. I am nork. See this blue, nork? This is nork, right? And, just because it's backwards, than in English, we say I love you, and in Basque it's love you, I, right? You just gotta get over that, and that just is what it is. But this nork, and that's just this one side of it. This is, and I've kind of explained this to you guys before. We've gotten into this nik dut, badakigu, guk dugu, suk dusu, suek dusue, hayek dute, right? I wrote on a napkin for Noel last night. Was it last night? Ser dugu. zer dugu. It means what do we have? Right? That's what it, that's one of its meanings. Okay, dugu. But this is like I was telling you guys, right? Ni Etíen nice, baina hogeita lau urte ditut. But I have 24 years. Right? This nork, this is possessive genitive, okay? It's possession. In Basque, you have to have, it's a case marker, this K, to indicate this possession, this possessive aspect, right, of something, right? You cannot say ni hogeita lau urte ditut. You have to have this nik, right? And that's why I put, again, we went over this, nidi, right? This ri is 2, right? This nik, this k, is the case marker. This is what's indicating possession. Okay? This is why this is more difficult to understand than this. This Nodi we can all get behind. When I said this means two who, right? You guys were kind of like, okay, like I can get that, right? This, we have nothing like this in English. This case marker. This is one of the most trickiest things about Basque is this nik, this nork. I promise you, it is not that difficult. Closed. Ichita lago. Anybody have any questions? If I just keep rambling, I know I'm just throwing you guys for a massive loop. I hope in the grand scheme of things you will go. I think he's doing his best, and I think it was actually positive that he did show us these things. Again,
It's kind of helpful because if you're just looking at the, I don't know, but you can see like the K's and the, on words and stuff.
right, and that's all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to show you. It can be very difficult when you haven't been exposed to something, even if you don't understand it.
Right.
I mean, that's how the understanding comes, is you have to be exposed to it first. But like when you get into those exercises, he will, like in that book, he puts things that are more advanced that you haven't seen yet, just like in the dialogue.
Right.
And it really throws you for a loop because you go, like, it makes you question the whole thing where you're like, this nik, like, okay, I know ni, but it's like this nik, is this something completely different?
Right.
Or is this a variation of I, me? Is there just something else going on here, right? And, when you just know that, like, oh, no, I remember, like, this isn't something totally different. This is, Etienne showed us this, like, and I don't understand it, but I'm not just looking at it like it's, Chinese, like it's hieroglyphics, right? So like, you say, and what this really is transitive and intransitive. This is another aspect of it, and I always confuse with intransitive. Intransitive is nor, I believe. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's like how I make sense of it is it's movement. Right? Like we understand, like I go, I am going, I eat, or I am eating. It's really action. I will go, I am going, I am eating, and then something where there's an object, right? And this is really where you start getting into that, where there's a little bit of an object. So when I say hogeita lau urte ditut, the object is the years, right? It's 24 years. I have 24 years. In English, we say I am 24 years old, right? So it's it's difficult for us to make that leap. But what you're really saying is, I have 24 years. That's how many years on this body that I have. You know, it's not that big of a leap to come to, right? But like this is how you say, you know, ser eshan dusu. What did you say? Ser eshan dusu. Dusu. Ser eshan dusu. Because to say something, there's an object there, right? It's not, you don't say ser eshan sara, right? You are like what? That's not what it is. This is ser eshan dusu, right? Ikashten dut, I study. Ikashten dut, I study. Ikashten dusue, you guys study, right? Okay, and then this is how it's set up. I did not design any of this. This is another aspect of it, and this side of it is, there's not an object per se, not like 24 years, not like studying, there's not, this is like when we say, I love you, I see you, I know you, I remember you, you remember me, you see me, you love me, I invite you, I will invite you, right? These are that is what this is, okay? So, and it has terms, I'm horrible at remembering, like the actual names of, like what it's called, what that facility is called. But so, like to say, do you remember me? Gogoratzen now su. You remember Gogoratzen now. Me. This is now. Right? And I hope this is somewhat clear. I know this is the first time you guys have seen this, but keeping these colors, right? This is who, this is Nor, this is Nor, right? So when I say you love me, the Nork, the who, is you. I am on the receiving end of that. I am the who, right? There's Nork, su, so you would say suk, maite, now su.
Barkatu Arantxaldeon.
Arantxaldeon. Came in at a good time.
Still not.
Okay, and if you guys would like to write that down, that's a really good one to know. You know, just I love you, and do you love me, right? Which is maite, M-A-I-T-E.
So,
Yeah. What's up?
so maite,
Maite.
the T is maite actually the verb, or is the
That's-
T how?
No. Yeah. So good. Good. You're looking at things and you're trying to dissect. That's very good. You want to be critically looking at words. You want to be trying to find these things, like,
Right.
you know, because
They changed.
they matter, right?
Yeah.
They only exist in these verbs. Okay,
So-
so you will learn the distinction. You'll know maite is not there's no verb form of maite. Maite is love. Maite is a word,
Okay.
right?
Oh, so it's not a verb. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Maite saitut. Maite is love. Saitut, we're right here. Saitu is you. The T is I. So it's the closest you can get to this in dissection, in going And you don't have to copy any of this stuff down, Robert.
I am.
No, you don't. Seriously, it's not. I'm just giving you guys. I explained earlier this. I'm just getting into some stuff it's much further ahead. I'm just trying to do a little exposure. And also, I don't want to scare you guys. What I want to do is, I want to inspire you. And you're not going to learn how to say "I love you," something very important, for many more chapters, right? It doesn't come from this. It does not come from Nor, Isan. It does not come from Nor Egon, right? It comes from Nor Nork. Maite Saitut. I, you, love. And that is as close as you can get into the English translation. Otherwise, you just butcher it and it becomes way too confusing. You don't want to go, I love you. No. The closest you can get to it is reading it backwards. And it's in the same order, just maite goes at the end now, right? Love goes at the end, where it's the I love you goes I, you, love. The I and the you are in the same position still, right? I first, you second, love just comes at the end. In Basque, it's love first, you, I, right? And the reason I come at the end is because I am Nork. I am the one delivering the action. Nork. Right? Neek, neek, right? N-I-K, neek, maite, saitut. Right? I, neek, love you, saitut. Okay? If I love you is maite saitut, if I, you is saitut, how would you say you love me?
Su. Maite.
Suk.
Or su. Maite.
You're gonna have to look up here. This is how they put it together. This is plug and play. This is how you connect these with however you want to, with whatever you're trying to say. I love you, you love me. I love them, they love me. You plural love me, we love you. So if saitu is you and T is me, I, meaning I love you, how would you say you love me? Maite now su. Oshondo. Oshondo. Do you guys understand that? Maite now, okay, because now instead of I love you, you love me, so you become Nork. You are now Su, right? This is Su, and I am now. Right? Maite now Su.
Yes.
Maite now Su. Beretan. Really? I was, and this is the thing, Nork really, when you're getting into Basque, this is one of the trickiest. I don't think this aspect of it is difficult at all, because it's very straightforward. It's the same thing in English. I love you, right? There's no object. It's this like action, right? The only thing that changes is that there's this case marker, this K, right? You have to have it. You cannot say ni. It's bad. It's bad. It's not good Basque to say ni maite saitut, right? It's nik maite saitut, right? To that degree, this still remains. This is why I have these all color coded. This remains nor, right? So you can say nik, su. Not suk, nik, because I am nik. I am nork, right? Nik, su, maite saitut, right? There's no two norks. It's nork, right? And this is nor, right? This is nor, right? Nik, su, maite saitut. Or suk, ni, maite, now su, right? It's crazy, no?
No, it's good.
It's crazy, yeah, no. I know it's like, it feels like I'm like,
What is it case slash N? Is that depending on what's at the end?
this is Ika. So Ika is, the reason I kind of go over these, I didn't ask you guys, like this is Eis, Edi, Psych, Sign, Ik, Duk, Dun, Yauk, Yaun, that's not, it's Yauk, right? So in Ika, which is with much familiarity, you don't say Maite Saikun. You say Maite Yaut. Right? Because you are Yao. You are Ao. Right? Duk, Dun, right? Instead of saying Sereshan Dusu, what did you say? And the K and the N are male, female. There's no gender in Basque. It's not a gendered language, right? There's no like feminine and masculine. The only distinction that you get at all in terms of the changing of a verb is in Ika. Suka does not change anything. Su, you are always su, whether you're male or female. But in Ika, if you are female, it's a K. If you are male, it's an N. No, excuse me. K is male, female is N, right? So I always say to my niece, this verb form's not up here, but this is the synthetic verb of to say, of eshan. And that's what they say, serliosu, right? You guys have all heard that, serliosu, right? I'll hear the old Basque shoot to themselves. I speak Ika with them. It's a very, amongst them, like I talked to Dominic and Guillaume about it. It's a very traditional thing, and there are very clear lines of respect in terms of speaking Ika. Age plays a huge part. You do not speak Ika across age boundaries. If you are of the same age, of siblings, you will speak Ika to each other. Older siblings may speak it to you, but you will not speak it to older siblings. Parents will speak it to you. You do not speak Ika to your parents. I don't come from any of that, and I am jazzed about speaking Basque, and so I speak Ika to all. I always say it to, it's like, rather than saying serliosu, which is what do you say? I say serliok, right? Which is what do you say, but it's an Ika. And I hear them say that to each other. They say serliok, and I love that. It's so like, when you really get into it, it's like, it's very endearing. I mean, it's like, it's so sweet, serliok. And I always say to my niece, serlion, right? Serlion. What do you say? Because she's a girl, right? Or, instead of nora soas, where are you going? Nora soas is su. Nora oa, H-O-A. Nora oa. Where are you going, right? Emango didan, instead of emango didasu, which is will you give me? Coming into this. Didan, right? It's yeah. It's wild, okay?
Do they, when you're speaking to Dominic,
Yeah.
do they kind of frown upon?
They don't speak Ika to me. I've never really heard them say Ika.
They listen to you in Ika.
Yeah, yeah.
But they won't respond in Ika.
No, it hasn't happened. They're very much so serliosu and
Yeah.
Susida, it's not East, but I don't care. I tell them I love them in Ika, and that really throws them off. Like, I do it to not even like ones that I know that well, like just like these two Basque guys. What's his name? Francisco. I think he's from. I don't think he lives here. I think they come from California. He was at the Tripota.
I think he lives here part time.
Okay, yeah.
He has an
And
apartment
he
near
came
our
into the
house.
bar with
Yeah.
one of his buddies. That like the weekend before, the 2 weekends before, and they're leaving, and I go and I do the whole thing. I don't just say maite yaut. I say nik e maite yaut, which puts emphasis on me and emphasis on you, right? And I don't care, and like the only person that reciprocated it out of all those guys was Jean-Pierre. He would speak Ika to me. When I started speaking Ika to him, and because it was not like that before, like it was Seriosu, you know, it was su. And then as soon as I started speaking Ika to him, I would come in, I would say Seriok. And he would go, Uncha, I,
Oh,
right, which is good. You, not ondo eta su, ondo eta I, right? Very, you know, it's endearing. It's with much familiarity, you know. But what I realized about that is like, you know, yeah, they speak it amongst themselves, but it's like, you know, it's not only the language of their home, like that they speak at home, you know, in their house, but it's the language of their childhood. You know, that's what their parents spoke to them, you know. And that for me is, it's like, you know, everybody's still just a child, you know, just a little aged, and it's like, I find it to be quite, you know, I just want to, you know, if I can be the person that tells them that in the language, you know, it's like smelling smelling a food from a kitchen, and it like takes you back to your childhood. It smells just like your mom's, you know, and it's like, you know, hearing that, like, you know, as soon as I started doing it to Jean-Pierre, it was very receptive. He was like, you know, he's very happy that I was speaking Ika too, you know. So here we are. Again, this to me is very conducive. This makes a lot of sense. It's the same thing in English. It's the order's just a little different. I love you. I see you. Ikusten. Ikushi is to see. Ikusten. Saitut. I see you. Gogoratzen now su. Do you remember me? Right? Gogoratzen now su. You remember me. Right? Gombidatuko saitut. I will invite you. Gombidatuko saitut. Right? This very conducive. This part, this aspect of the North, I think is the most difficult. That Nik Ogeta Laurte Ditut. I have 24 years. Nik Handut. I ate. You know, Sere Shanlusu, you know, and even that, it's not that difficult. You just gotta, you know, get after it. What was I gonna say about this? Because of that, because for non-Basque speakers getting into this, because of its difficulty, it's kind of notorious. Like, if you have articulation of this, if you have versatility of this, it's quite impressive. Like when somebody can hear you speak in the Nord, they're like, oh, like you're really learning Basque. You know, it's not just this basic, you know, ni Etíen nice, you know, emengo nice. You know, you're able to use this. And like when I was in Iparralde visiting, I was with Shancho, our cousin, and his daughter, and kind of speaking, you know, Euskara. It was kind of like I wasn't able to like talk so much per se, and I think it was kind of, you know, maybe they were dancing around a little bit on some stuff, and I had seen her in the morning. We were shearing sheep, and then I went and helped. I was helping the guys do some other stuff at this house, and she came up later in the afternoon. And Shancho was speaking to her, you know, it says, you know, yeah, do you remember him? You know? And she says, by Ikushi Saitu. Ikushi, how did she say it? Ikushi Lut. I saw him. Ikushi Lut. Right? She was saying Ikushi Lut. Meaning earlier that day, she said Ikushi Lut. Like I saw him already, right? And I said, bye. Garugoisean Ikushi now su.
Oh, yeah.
I said, this morning you saw me. Ikushi now su. And she said, bye. And Shancho looked at me and was like, Ikushi now su, nor. Oshondo, Etienne. Right? It's like you're using nor. He's a Basque teacher. He teaches Basque. And I mean, just that little thing of me using that, correctly. Yeah, you saw me this morning. Kushinausu, Garugo Sani Kushinausu. He was like, oh, nor, Etienne, Oshondo. Like you're using it correctly, And then another time I was in Donosti and I was hanging out, we were at a bar and she introduced a friend of hers to mine. She's like, yeah, this is Etienne, he's an American, but he speaks Euskara. And, I just say, I say Kaisho to her, She's like, Kaisho. And I can tell she's just trying to figure me out. She's just like, does this guy really speak Basque? Is he really an American for one? And does he really speak Basque if he is, And I, asked her, Semalus or whatever. And then I'm like, a little bit was exchanged, like not much. And then she's like, it kind of takes her by surprise that I'm speaking it, and she kind of starts laughing. And I look at her, I remember I'm rolling a cigarette. And I'm like, said, what? And she's like, oh, SRS, maite saitu. She says, nothing, I love you, right? And I look at her, and I'm like, what? Okay, and I go, benetan maite nausu. Esinda su gesura ashan. That's what I say to her, right?
What?
I say, benetan maite nausu, which means, do you really love me? Esinda su gesura ashan. You can't lie, right? And she goes, bah! And she runs away, and I'm like, But I mean, that's that's when the studying pays off. In moments like those where it's like, and again, look, it takes a while to get there, but these are not complicated. This is very straightforward. This is the first time you guys have seen this. And so I don't expect you to just go, oh, I got facility to use this. But this is, I love you. It does not change. I love you, you love me. I see you, I remember you, right? So rather than me just saying, I'm up here yelling already for an hour. What I would like of you guys to practice this, okay? Is it too weird to use maite saitut amongst each other?
No.
Okay. I would like the first person to tell the next person maite saitut, and then say maite nausu. Okay, and this is everybody's gonna say the same two things: maite saitut and maite nausu. And what you're gonna be saying is maite saitut, which is I love you, maite saitut, and then you're gonna be asking maite nausu, do you love me? And then that'll prompt you to say maite saitut, right? And then you can go to the next person, maite nausu, right? You guys follow? It'll go like this. Maite saitut.
Maite nausu.
Hold on. Yeah, listen. Hold on. I say maite saitut, and really we should practice it saying suk. So I'm going to say maite saitut, suk maite nausu. Okay, and then you say maite saitut.
Maite saitut.
And then you say to him suk.
Suk maite saitut.
Nausu.
Now what?
Nausu. What we're saying is.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, no worries.
Through sukin and
The Zukin.
Yeah. This suk. What this is what we're saying is. This is crazy. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Because you love us.
I love you guys. So what this is?
They don't love each other.
Maite saitut. So we don't have to say me.
Yeah, no.
Maite saitut.
Right. You don't
We
have
don't need
to.
to say.
You don't have to. But it's not a bad thing to say.
Which is fine.
Okay, maybe this will make it a little more straightforward. And so see, and this is the thing is in Basque, it's a mirror.
Yes.
It's a mirror. So really, look at this. Okay. No, I know.
Jeez.
Just memorize it.
No, this is more straightforward. I promise you. Okay, watch this. Watch this. Okay. Suk, su, nik, su, saitu, ni, now. These are mirrors. You split this thing down the middle. They're mirrors.
Anya.
Hey, how are you, Jordan?
You think you got my phone here?
Possibly.
How are you?
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
partner.
thanks.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you
Good.
doing?
Good to see you. Yeah, I think I had too much fun. I might have left my phone here. I
Well, it's
hope.
better than the credit card.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not
Like,
scary.
I've been in the plane, watch all this.
Actually, Jordan, I don't think we did.
I don't like you.
Oh my goodness.
All right, thanks.
Absolutely. So do you guys see what I mean by a mirror? Right? Okay. Neek. The neek is at the beginning, and I am at the end. Right? I am at the beginning, I am at the end. Su, saitu, right? Working towards the middle, it comes right off of the I, right? Neek su, saitu, right? Does this make sense? That mirror thing.
But would you normally say it that way, or is that just adding so much more into it? than it
Neek
needs?
su maite saitut?
Yeah, or would you just say,
Yeah,
I might
just
take
trying to
something?
Yeah, no. So this is the thing about these personal pronouns is they're not necessary, and many times they are omitted in Basque, right? Because the verb, the auxiliary verb, contains all of the information. But no, it is absolutely said, and quite often when they say that it's often omitted, is because it's not necessary. And if you're just casually, like this I do, I love you, right? But if you're adding emphasis, nik su, and this is the thing about this. The reason I'm putting this here is not about whether you should say it or not. It's about understanding what it is that you're saying, right? It's about the order, right? If I just put nik up here, nik maite saitu, and that's more often than not you will say that nik maite saitu, right? It won't necessarily always be both of them, but to understand that the order of this, right? Nik su maite saitu, and how it's this mirror, right? Because for us it's difficult, this whole backwards thing, this UI, right? And if you could put this in reverse, which is what I'm showing you with the mirror, it would flip and it's IU, right? But it comes on the back, so it's UI, right? It's crazy. It's a little crazy. And this might be, this looks like
But at the
hieroglyphics.
same time, when it mirrors, like you're saying,
Yeah.
even if you don't do it correctly in the narrative,
Right.
it's still correct.
What do you mean?
Meaning, okay, I struggled in this last lesson with where do I put the verb and where do I
Right. The auxiliary verb.
The auxiliary.
This. Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Always at the end. Always at the end. That's the thing about Basque. The auxiliary verb always goes
at the end.
It's always at the end. Always. And that's not necessarily true. You know, when that's true in very simple sentences. You never say nice at the end. You say at the end nice. Right? It's never this means I am. In English it's I am Etienne. It's not Etienne I am. In Basque it's Etienne nice. It's Etienne I am.
But even though you're using ni,
Right.
don't need to use ni because of.
Correct. Yeah, because this is the auxiliary verb. Right.
Right.
This is always at the end. Right. I'm just showing you guys this because when you take this away and it's just maite saitu, right? This is with omission. A fully committed sentence is this. With everything that you could put in here. You know, we don't have that option in English. I love you can only be I love you.
Right.
There's not anything else you can add to that, you know, not in terms of, you know, pertaining to I and you. In Basque, there is. This auxiliary verb contains everything, this saitut, right? Now su, but it's really nik su maite saitut, right? And I'm showing you this really just to show, right? This K, this nik suk, right?
Yes.
Nik T, suk su,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Making sense? This is
No,
cool.
it's
So if
yeah,
you're
it's got more. I just didn't know if that's like a double saying or
Right, no,
if you're
and-
saying it twice or if that's normally how you say it.
Yeah, absolutely, it's emphasis. In
Okay.
English, we emphasize with vocality. We say I love you, right? That's how you do it in English. It's with vocal, it's tonality. It's with how you say it. In Basque, it's with the omission or commission of the personal pronouns, right? And this is the reason I'm explaining this is to really show you what this case marker does. This K. This K is important. This K means that I am the one loving you. The case marker K on you is indicating you loving me. It's never nik su maite now su. And it's never suk ni maite saitu. It's nik, I love you, right? I love you, right? Is it too much to try to do this?
No, I love
Okay.
it. I love it.
Okay, so forget this,
I knew he'd erase it before
Oh, no.
okay? So
Huh?
I'm just trying to show you, right? I'm just trying to. This is the thing. If you're in a situation where you say this, when this happens, where you say, "Maite saitu," and then "Maite now su" as a question after, and that's the other thing. So that's this is where the emphasis comes in handy. So like, if I was with somebody and I go, "Nik maite saitu," like I love you. Right? I would never just immediately say, just maite now su. I would never say that. Maite now su. Following that, like this is with a girl, this is with whatever. I'm going, nik maite saitu. I love you. I would always say, su eta suk, maite now su. And you, do you love me?
The emphasis.
Right? Yeah, it's eta su. It's never just maite. The omission of it is very general. It's very passive. The commission, and you, very few times is when you're saying something like that. You know, if it's always going to be commission. There's always going to be emphasis, right? And what that's really doing is, you know, nik maite saitu, eta suk maite now su, right? I love you, and you, do you love me? right? And so when we do this, you don't have to say the nik, you can just say maite saitut, but then when you ask the maite now su, include the suk, because it's more correct. It adds to the question. Suk maite now su, okay? Are we up for this? And it doesn't matter if we butcher it, it might get all crazy. We will do everyone will do it correctly. Okay? Okay? So nik maite saitu. Suk maite now su.
Bye.
Oshondo. And then you say this exact thing.
Nik maite saitut.
Then to Alex you say suk maite now su.
Suk maite now su.
Oshondo.
Maite, nik, maite, saitut. Su, maite, saitut.
Maite now su.
Su, maite, nasu.
Oshondo.
So I say him, right?
Yep.
Alright, so nik su maite setu,
Oshondo.
and then her su ni maite nasu.
Oshondo.
Ni maite saitut. Maite nasu.
Nik, maite saitut. Zuk, maite nasu.
I say it back to her.
Yep.
Nik, maite saitut. And then su, maite nasu.
Nik, maite zasu. Zuk, maite nasu.
Nik maite saitut. Zuk maite nasu.
Nik, maite, saitut. Su, maite, nasu.
Bye, nik maite saitut. No shit. Oshondo.
That was good, guys.
Oshondo. How did that feel?
Felt great.
Kind of wild, huh?
God, I smell like sweet, baby. You too?
Grease trap.
Yeah.
Glad we dove into that while we were.
Yeah, that's
That was good.
you guys just said it. I mean, you guys just said, you stated that I love you, and you asked if you love me, right? And this applies with this applies to everything that I expect. Seeing, I see you, I remember you, I saw you, I will see you, I invited you, I will invite you, I hate you, they hate me, right? I asked one of Meaden's friends in Donosti, she's like coaches soccer, like little kids soccer. And I'm like walking and I'm like, oh yeah, like, San Malus, like, how is it? And she goes, Goroto naute, which means they hate me. I'm like, oh, okay, right on. Right? So can you see how that comes from?
Yeah.
Goroto now they. They hate me.
Me.
Right? Goroto naute. Right?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? How would you say you love us? You love us. This is us, Gaitu. Right? Maite.
Gaitu maite su. No.
So I think about it. So you, not they, you. You is su. Gaitu is us. You love us. Maite,
Maite, gaitusu.
gaitusu. Maite gaitusu. You love us. Maite gaitusu. You see how you build this? So you just right. These are plug and play, very straightforward, right? And that's, I mean, I love this part about Basque. This thing that, English is very dry in that sense. It's very boring. There's nothing to build. There's nothing like that you get to do. I is always I. You are always you. I love you. You don't get to build this cool fucking verb. And I, you, I mean, just objectively looking at it, I, you, saitut, and now su are so different, right? Both of them are I and you, right? Or me and you, right? It's just who is giving the action to who, and the whole verb is different, right? That to me is very cool. I mean, it could just be, like it could be this T could stay the same. It could be, and the order could just change, and it could be this saitu, right? For UI, right? But that's not what it does. The whole thing changes. To me, that's very beautiful. I mean, I really like that aspect of it. Saitut, now su, right? And notice how these are all very much the same, right? There's gaitu, us, saitu, you, saituste is you plural. I mean, those three, if you can remember saitu, you can remember gaitu. And this saituste, it's just this ZTE that comes on the end of saitu, making it plural, right? How does that feel?
Awesome.
And I expect this does not need to, I'm just trying to give you guys some context. And I hope when you guys get further along, when you come across this, you're gonna go, I remember this.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't, he's kind of already been over that with us, right? Okay, the final thing. This is the last one. Excuse me. It's such an evil laugh. I know. So this is the combination of everything. This is nor, nori, nor. There's a song about this actually. There's a song about all of this. It's called Nor Nori Nor. Yeah, it goes, it's Nor Nori Nor. Balitza the subjunctivo, joder, balitza the subjective, which is, balitzas are like hypotheticals, and subjunctivo is the subjunctive. It's a whole song about how crazy. The chorus is literally, balitza subjunctivo, joder, which is like, fuck. It's like hypotheticals and subjunctives, God damn it, but this is really cool. See how we're at nor, right? Nori, to who, to who, from who,
To who?
right?
From who?
From who? What this means now, this nori nork, is it's including an object. Okay? For example, right? In English, there's no difference. We say, I love you, maite saitut, right? And then I say, I give you, right? I give you a gift. And I, you, the same, right? Even though we're talking about two very different things, right? Maite saitut is, there's no object involved. Love is not an object. Ikushtin saitut, I see you, is not, that's not an object, right? It's this action. It's this thing of who to whom, right? But there's no object involved, right? No nori nork, there was an object involved. So I say, maite saitut, I love you, but opari bat, a gift, opari bat, emango disut. Disut is I to you. Disut. Right? I give you a gift. It's not opari bat and mango saitut.
No.
There's no object involved in that, and there can't be. This is with an object, right? And this to me is really straightforward. These forms, I mean, it doesn't get easier than these. Gu, look at this gu. Gu on nor. You guys have learned, you know this. Gu, su, sue, a. This T is always ni, right? Same thing over here, right? And then the ski makes it plural. So like, you know, opari batzuk emango diski suit. Opari batzuk emango diski suit. I will give you some gifts. It's plural. The ski makes it plural. And this is crazy. This doesn't work. And just to scare you a little bit, I don't want you guys to get too cocky here. All of these have past tense forms.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Let's add another fucking layer.
Yeah. But this is, you know,
But it's easy.
right, and I hope this, I hope this color coding, and I hope this, these are like maps. I look at these like maps, or like instruction manuals.
But what if you're colorblind like me?
Yeah, I know it. Where you look to these to learn how to put it together. And that's what they're here to do. Like I said, these forms don't exist, right? Because didasu, you, to me, does not exist unless there's an object. You cannot look up didasu in the dictionary because it's not a word. It's this auxiliary verb that indicates I, that indicates you, to me, giving me something. You to me, with an object, right? And that's why, you know, I try to keep all these color coordinated. So this nor, again, just like nor nori, where it becomes, it becomes an object, right? This nor is from who? Again, similar to the nor of I love you. It's not necessarily me giving you love, right? But it's me being the person, you know, making the action, right? As it is here, nor, right? Nori, to who, from who, to who, and the object. And this object, this is included in all of them. It's always diot, diogu, diosu, diosue, diote, right? Diet, disuet, disut, digut, doesn't exist. Diot, right? It's always di, right? And then this adds plurality, right? And we don't have to get into this at all. It's really, I just wanted to, you know, scare you guys.
No, you're not. You've already brought this to us.
Yeah.
Way back when.
What is helpful, also like if you're reading it or trying to read it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I can
Right. And what,
parts, I guess, the parts.
absolutely. And that's what I hope most. That's what I hope I'm getting you guys to do, is to, when you see these words, you guys have been introduced, I think, rather thoroughly, and we're gonna, you know, we're still going over it, but you guys are not strangers to this nor. Ni nice, I ice, berada, lugara, susara, suexarete, hayegdira, right? You're not strangers to this. And these forms, this ni, I, gu, su, sue, haye, they come through all of these, right? Some of them are different, this T, this O, but this gu, su, sue, e, gu, su, sue, de, gaitu, saitu, you know, it's a little different, but not on the nor. Gu, su, sue, de, right? Gu, su, sue, e, gu, su, sue, de, right? And it's, those always mean, it always means I, it always means us, it always means you, it always means you plural, it always means they, right? And Basque is rich absolutely rich with these verbs, these verb forms. And yeah, so that's all. That's what I'm trying to. Anybody have any questions?
Wow.
Etíen, when you're speaking to the older Basque people like Guillaume, Dominic, do you notice that they don't pronounce the T and the K like you do? Like doot?
Right. Yeah,
And Jean-Pierre, instead of saying he would say E.
E. It's E. Yeah. This
Yeah.
the H. It's how it's spelt. But no,
Yeah.
you don't ever really say like he. It's E.
Mhm.
It's like the letter E. E, and it's not really heis. It's ice. Right, ice. And so the thing with that, the pronunciation of like the T, the K. I always definitively hear like when they say the oak.
Yeah, I don't hear oak.
Right.
Serdio.
Right.
Serdio.
Yeah. And you'll get that. Right, and you'll get that like seriosu, like
Seriosu.
yeah, and it's you kind of they eat a lot of that like, but
If we said it exactly though, that's not wrong.
hell no. Well, see, and this is the thing was like when I first started studying like, I always remember telling myself like learning out of the book. I'm like, for one, it's just brand new and it's like it's crazy. You're like. I remember just thinking to myself, like, do they really say this? Like, alpa? Like, do they really say this? Like, because I was so young and stupid, I thought everybody in the world said hello. I mean, truly, where I was like, alpa? Like, what is that? Like, and I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, yeah, this book is like teaching me some stuff, but like, I know this isn't how they, I was so sure, I was like, I know that this is not how they speak. There's gotta be a slang, like street, Basque, where it's like a lot of slang, like I wanna learn how to speak that, and then I learned, for one, you're never gonna learn how to speak slang if you don't know how to speak, the language properly. Slang comes from something proper, right? And then I was quite inspired by young people that I met, like my friend Gadi Koitz, who's a Basque teacher, and he speaks so deliberately. He speaks with so much intonation, and he doesn't say serio, he doesn't move through shit. He says seriosu. Everything intonated like beautifully, sermodus, serdegu. Oh, like it's not serdu. He says serdegu. Etienne, sermodus saude, sermodus doa bisitza gardnervillen. It's not just like he doesn't move through it all quickly. He speaks very clearly, and it's incredibly beneficial because not everybody's like that. Like you run into a lot of people that speak not only super fast, but they eat a lot of the stuff. And it's very difficult as a student to get anything from that. You have to be around people that understand that they're talking to a student. And whether it's deliberate or that's just how they are, you begin to gravitate towards those people because you know that they make an effort to understand you. They want you to speak to them, right? And what you'll find, you'll become discouraged. I mean, there's people, I've just learned this just from studying Basque. There are people I can speak with, and there are people that I cannot. I'm not saying that it's impossible for me to, but there's this thing where there's this energy boundary where, they refuse to slow down, it doesn't even cross their mind to, and if you can't keep up, like it's just too weird, and it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like I just know that. I know that there's people where it's like, yeah, like we don't, and because of that, this person thinks that I'm not even a good Basque speaker. Like I can't even speak Basque. And then with people that I know I can speak with, you get nothing but encouragement. Where they're like, you are doing so well. You speak very good. You speak very clearly. You know, your ideas are you know, concise, and you're making a serious effort, you know, like, and then you have those people, and then you have people that are just like, where it's like, we don't even talk, like, you know, and it can be discouraging because it's like, I don't want to feel shitty trying to do this, you know, I want to feel like I'm good. And so I got over that mentality of like, I want to speak like some version of slang Basque, to where my mentality now is, I want to speak the clearest, most beautiful, everything intonated, everything pronounced perfectly Basque, you know, because like you hear those like Bercholariak, the verse singers, right? That's how they are. You know, they go up and they do this freestyle, you know, verse making. They intonate everything. They pronounce everything very clearly. And it's about the finesse. It's about the prowess. It's about not muddling down the language. It's about lifting it up through how you speak it, you know, which does nothing but inspire me, you know. Yeah. Any questions? Any more questions?
So what you're saying is enunciate everything. I mean, I don't have to drop or.
No, yeah, and you want to. I mean, it's like, and like to your question, like, do you always hear them say that the dude, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I pronounce it, you know, and the reason I do that is because I'm trying to be clear and concise to you guys, right? And this is the thing, is across the board, what you get is, specifically here, there's no, right? Dude, if you don't say that dude, and you just say do, you're saying berak, you're saying him, he, she, him, her, right? So if you're saying, you know, Yahandu, you say he already ate, but Yahandut is I already ate, right? And sure, it's not always pronounced, and a lot of things are contextual, but it's like, that's why you want to. I mean, it's more than just like this poetic aspect of wanting to speak good Basque. What you say matters. You know, if you don't say something, if you include a Z when there's not supposed to be one, you know, it's like in English words matter. The words that you put in Basque, it comes down to the letters, right? Because this T is I and me. Without it, I am not in this equation, right? You can say, you know, if you just say maite du, right? Because you don't need the nik and you don't need the berak. Maite du, what you're saying is somebody loves something, right? Because really you're saying, if you're saying berak, maite du, that berak, there's nothing, and it's just maite du. You're saying he loves something, right? That T, maite lut, is I'm saying I love something.
Changes the.
Right, it changes it, right? A letter, one letter means the difference between I, you know. So it's important, and it's, it's worthy of speaking clearly. Any more questions? Okay. Haven't scared you guys yet?
Yes, you have.
It's coming out.
No, I don't like his, when he gets in there. His magic bag.
Right, these are something interesting. You guys might like to see these. Here, you guys can just pass this around. I bought these in Otsailak. These are Nordnork. Okay, and it shows you, it produces the answer for you of this plug and play, this equation, right? And so you have here Nik su, saitut. Egun means today. It shows you the past tense form as well. Atso. Atso means yesterday. Sintuda. It all changes. We're not right? Up here, suk ni. Now soon. Right? Hark gu, gaitu. Right? He, us. Right? And this is all of these forms. This is that's a sheet of them, right? Because that's them all put together. It's just all of these, but built in every possible combination, right? That's why you are hard pressed trying to remember all of these. Good luck. Seriously, it's like, and it's stupid. It's inefficient. It's ridiculous to try to force yourself to recall every possible combination. What you want to recall is these 7 and these 7. Know what they are, and then in your head you can go, no, maite now su, you love me, right? I have this map singed in my head. And it doesn't take but a few seconds, I don't know all of them because I don't use all of them off the top of my head. But it's nothing, it's nothing but a few seconds, and I can remember, oh yeah, maite gai tusu, you love us, right? Yeah, this is cool. No? Okay.
Very cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Okay, well, shall we do something out of this book? No, you guys all have this. This is Unit 1. Everybody have a packet? Do you have a packet?
I have, you've given me one, but not for today.
No. Do you have it on you? I have another one for you.
No, I don't have it on me.
So good.
Right, I was like, don't show me back.
This is just to show you guys. This is the full sheet of all of these.
Oh, man.
Of all of these. What is up here is just this box right here. Right? This is alera, this is can, this is if I, this is hypothetical, this is the consequence of that, would, this is would in the past tense, this is subjunctive, and then these are all the synthetic verbs. Not all of them, there's like 27 of them, but there's like the most commonly used ones. But just to, yeah. And this is the shit. This is the Bible. This is the map, If you got this out in the streets, you can make it happen. You can be looking at,
Might take me an hour, but.
Don't forget what you're gonna say by then. Yeah, what was I talking about?
Just trying to get common sense out. Right, where's the bus?
well, has everybody or anybody kind of kept up doing exercises?
No.
Okay.
All of them.
All of them. Did anybody finish this first chapter? Unit 1 of the exercises?
This one,
Robert?
I did.
Good.
I've been writing
You
and
got
writing.
you got all the way through the times doing the.
I finished last night on exercise 13.
You guys all just want to maybe just briefly look over this stuff.
Yeah,
Look at vocab
please.
words. Just to refresh yourselves.
It's also helpful to hear you pronounce it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is this?
No. Don't get over.
You know what hark is yet? I don't.
I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Oh, yeah, except for it's, is it H-A?
Yeah, well, I mean, it says, I mean, but yeah, I don't even need to look at this. But this is York.
Oh, so like you are big. I have A's and I's right now, but I think why I'm gonna put that to. That's what it is. I'm not sure. I know I'm like a friend. I go with a friend that just started to visit somebody else. And Twin Falls, I think.
There's a great Basque song. It's called Hamahirugarren Negara. It's by Gorka Nor. What that says is the last goodbyes tear. Right? The last goodbyes cry. And it's about World War I. It's about all the Basque soldiers that went and fought in World War I. And so if you go to, this is from the introductory unit. I don't know how many of you guys still have that one, the packet, the one with the map on the front.
I do.
It doesn't matter. I just wanted to show you, he gets right into a conversation that includes a lot of the more advanced parts, like the synthetic verb of to go, soas, right, which means you are going, right? And this song, I really like the song because I can understand it. It's a very good song, right? And so I'm just gonna, I'll say it for you guys, and because it includes aspects of this and just this, right? And it's very straightforward. It's very beautiful. It's Norasoaz orai. No, it's Norasoaz eshkwal shemea, which means where are you going, Basque son? Eshkwal shemea, right, son. Norasoaz eshkwal shemea. Arma ori eshkutan, that gun in your hand. Arma hori, that gun. Eshkutan, in your hand, in hand. Armen hartsera deitsen naute, franchen aldera. Armen hartsera deitsen naute, franchen aldera, which means they. Armen hartsera deitsen. Deitsen is calling. Deitsen naute. They're calling me to take arms for the French side. Armen hartsera, taking arms, to take arms. Armen hartsera, hartu is to take, hartsera. Armen hartsera, deitsen naute, they're calling me to take arms. Franchen aldera, for the side of the French, right? And I just think that, I really like the song. Not all of the Basque songs are like that. Some of them are very difficult to understand. But that one's like, it starts out, it's Nora Soaz Eshkwal Shemia. Where are you going, Basque song, right? And I just really like it because it's like, it's not, overly, it's not including all of this crazy vocabulary, all these words that are super difficult. It's very straightforward and it's very, endearing. It uses these, these very fundamental Basque aspects. How are we feeling about Unit 1? It's been a while, I know.
I love it.
Yeah. I think it would be good for all of us to go through these vocabulary words. I'll say them, and you guys repeat them after me. Okay. And I'm gonna say both of them. I'm gonna say Adesara, the old part. And you guys do the same thing, okay?
Okay.
Oh, excuse me,
Page.
unit 1, 2, page 2, unit 1. That's the old one, that's the introductory, yeah. Unit 1, that one, yeah, Igeldo,
Oh, no, I don't.
that one, yeah.
Okay.
Aldesara, the old part.
Aldesara.
The
No
old
part.
The old- Americano,
Americano.
American. Antiguo,
Antiguo.
Bai,
Bai.
Basheri,
Basheri.
Basho,
Basho.
Megida,
Megida.
Donostia,
Donostia.
Ere,
Ere.
Eta,
Eta.
Eche,
Eche.
Esquadun,
Esquadun.
Es,
Es.
Gros,
Ros.
Ayek,
Ayek.
How,
How.
Hawek,
Hawek.
Haur,
How.
Eri,
Eri.
Ori,
Ori.
Oriek,
Oriek.
Ura,
Ura.
Igeldo,
Igeldo.
Ikasle,
Ikasle.
Ichasho,
Ichasho.
Mendi,
Mendi.
Mutil,
Mutil.
Neshka,
Nescapolita.
Orain,
Orain.
Ordu,
Urdu.
Ordu,
Urdu.
Ordu,
Ordu.
Ordu. And then the next one is Urgul,
Urdu.
Senbat,
Senat.
Ser,
Ser.
Oshondo. How those feeling? You guys remember any of those words? Bye. Go. Do you guys remember this exercise? Ser lahau. Ser lahau. Ser lahau. If you guys stay, you go right to the next page. You guys remember me doing that? You guys tell me anything at all, right? But because this to me, said how, it would be what to you? Ori. Oshondo. Ser how. Anything at all. Anything at all. Ori.
Ori, forget the name of the fucking chair. Way back there.
Yeah. Ori Alkia.
Alkia.
Alkiala. Serla.
Atea.
Ori she. Serla.
Ori. Atea.
Da.
Da. It is.
Serla.
Ori. Atea da.
Oshondo. Alex. Serla. Oshondo. Serla. Echeala. Echea or eche bat. Da. So house, right? You have to have that article, the a or the. Echea or eche bat. Oshondo. Serla.
Hori tabernada.
Oshondo. Serla. What sir?
Oh, or you might
Mayada. Oshondo. Oshondo. Serla. Deska? Deshka. Deshka. Oshondo. Serla. Da. Oshondo. Ser da.
Can I ask him?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're saying the after the,
Da. Yeah.
is that when you, when did you use that?
Da.
Not when he was using it for like a chair.
Yeah. No. What are you asking? I'm sorry.
So what did you just, what did you do that?
What do you mean dia da?
The
Da.
mountain.
Yeah.
The mountain.
Da
Okay, so
is-
for the mountain.
Da is or it is. So when I say ser da how, I'm asking what is this? Right? Ser da how. And that, yeah, so when they respond, hori alkia da, right? That is a chair. That da always comes at the end. You never say hori da. You can't say hori da alkia, but it kind of changes the meaning. But it's hori alkia da. That is a chair, right? So no matter what word you say, whatever you decide to tell me this is, just say hori, whatever, da, right? Ser da how. Oshondo. Ser da how.
Hori beshera da.
Basheri.
Basheri da.
Basheria da.
Basheria.
Oshondo. That is a farm or a farmhouse.
What do you
Well, can I ask why-
Yeah.
Sharia, you said?
Yeah.
Basheria.
Basheria. Is that what you're asking as well?
Well, no, I was just saying, no, I was gonna ask you why on Echia, you said Echiabat.
Echebat.
Eche.
It's either Echea.
Oh, okay,
Or
that's what,
Eche
okay,
Bat.
okay.
Right. And so this answers your
So
question as
that's-
well.
That answers it,
Yeah.
okay.
So the
Yeah.
reason is, so the thing in Basque is, okay,
The
okay,
A-
so the thing with words in Basque is they don't really exist on their own. They have to, if there, you will never see, it cannot just be written eche, right? As itself, eche means house, right? Eche, that's what it
You're
means,
saying
house.
house or
But,
a house?
right, but it's kind of in an, it's in an infinitive form, right?
It's not completed.
It's
That's
not
why you have to
completed.
say ura.
Yeah,
Instead
ur,
of ur.
ur is water,
You can
but,
say
but,
ura.
But you wouldn't say, you wouldn't speak it.
yeah, if somebody says, you would never say ur nailusu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can say
it's ura. And even then, if you're saying ura nailusu, you're asking about a specific water. You're saying, do you want the water?
Because the
Ura.
A,
Yeah, what you really say, this is more advanced, but what you really say is urik nailusu, which is do you want any water? Any. That rik is any. Right?
okay, so back to what he said.
But so so how he said basheri. Right, so basheri,
Knock out the A, Basheria.
it cannot exist in a sentence in that infinitive form.
Okay.
So like he said, hori eche da. What, and it doesn't make sense in English either. You wouldn't say that. He's saying that is house. Right?
You have to
That
say
is
a house.
that is farm.
You have to have the A.
Hori basheri da. Right? That is farm, right? It's wrong. In English, the article, the a or the, is a separate word. In Basque, it's
House.
a.
Okay.
It's echeya. That means a or the, right? A house or the house. Hori echea, that is a house.
Could you say nere besheri?
Yeah, nere basheria da.
Wait, you have to say nere basheria.
Right,
You can't say nere
because
basheria.
nere is not a determiner.
Okay.
Nere is a possessive, it's my,
Mine,
but what that a and what that article acts as is a determiner. So where you do drop it is you say, instead of basheria, you say basheri hori, that farm,
Right.
right? Because hori is a determiner, and you can't have a determiner and an article. So it's never basheria hori. It's wrong. Basheri hori, right? Unless it has what's called an organic A, like taberna, right? Taberna hori, that bar. It's an organic A. You can't get rid of that A, right?
Okay.
And this is the thing about Basque. It's really cool. I mean, I think it's so cool. The first Basque dictionary that was ever published did not classify words into parts of speech like we do in English. It was not classified, there was not groups of nouns, adjectives, adverbs, right? It wasn't designed like that. And the case can be argued that there actually are no nouns, adjectives, and adverbs in Basque language because they all exist in an infinitive form, and it is only with the suffixes in context that it's a noun, it's an adjective, or an adverb. It becomes, right? They all exist in these infinitives, right? So for example, right, sar. Sar is old. Sar, right? Sarra. Alde sarra, the old part, right? Sarra, right? But sar, Z-A-H-A-R. Not sarra, but sar, old, right? Sarra is the old. Sarra, alde sarra, the old part, right? Sartu means to age. Now it's a verb. Too old. Sartu. Right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sartsen. Aging. And I don't even know if that's true. I'm just giving you an example with that's the habitual tense. Sen. That's like the ing in English. Sartsen. Olding. It's aging, right? Right? But used as Echeori sarrada. That house is old. Now it's an adjective, right? But sartu, to age, is a verb, right? Sar, old, I guess it's infinitive, right? And so like the case can be made that every word is like that. They do break it down for like in this book and in the other ones that are for English speakers. They do make an effort to put them into categories like that because it makes it a lot easier. But that's what's really amazing about it to me is like, it's not just, you got all this flexibility, so it's always, you gotta have that article, right? Hori echeada, right? Hori basheri, or hori echeada, hori basheriada, right? And that's what I mean by location where hori basheriada, you're saying that is a farm, right? Basheri hori is that farm, right? Same basheria or same basheri. No, see, that's also a determiner, I guess. Same, senbat, right? It remains. You don't add an article. So same basheri, which farm? Basheri hori.
Did you add a for
That farm. She
You
did.
did, okay.
She did. Yeah. Yeah. Questions? Questions about that?
Well, you just said it again with eche. You said eche sara.
Eche sarrada. It's an old house. Right, so this is the
Oh, you
thing.
said sarada.
Sarrada. Or eche sarra, the old house.
Sarra.
Sarra.
Oh, eche sara.
Right, and what that.
But that's because
The reason it's not an echea sarra, is because in Basque, that article, you can't have multiple articles. You don't say in English, the house.
right.
You say, the old house, right? And in Basque, the same thing, that A just keeps moving. It just keeps going down. So if you have a descriptor like that, like old, right? You don't say echea sarra, right? That's saying the old, the house, the house, the old, right? You say eche sarra, right? That A on the end of sarra is the old house, right? Right?
So it changes.
Because
So
sara
that's
is
how you
old
change
by
the
itself,
sense.
right?
Sarra, yeah, yes.
Sara or sar? No.
Yeah,
Sara.
I don't believe, yeah.
No,
Sarra,
sara. Don't get confused in that. There's a name
yeah.
there.
There's organic A's and then there's not organic A's.
Right.
And
Right.
I have plenty of difficulty on my own
Right.
But if you
figuring out which ones.
Okay, never mind, yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about Echea. What is Echea?
Echean,
Echea.
suk badakigu, senden echean. You know what is a chair?
But that A-N.
Right. In, on, at.
In.
Etíen. Right.
In, on, at, okay.
That to me,
That means-
is one of the easiest things in Basque because it is practically the same as it is in English. Don't remember at. Don't remember at. Like, don't even think about that. In, on, at. Remember in and on, because what are those two words? They're both ends at the end.
Yes.
In and on, right? Same thing in Basque. That end means in or on. Etíen means at home,
Yeah.
in home, right? Etíen, Klasea. What's Klasea? In class.
In class.
Class, right?
In
Klasea,
class.
right?
Okay.
Kalean,
In the street.
in the street. Out. They use it like it means out, right?
Yeah.
You know, unsale, kalean, out, just out, right? But it means in the street, right? Basherian, on the farm, on the farm. Basherian, you know, right? Again, at home, because basheri, it can be a farmhouse as well. Basherian, right?
So, Mendian? Can you
Mendian,
say that?
Manushki, of course.
Okay.
Mendian,
On the mountain, or
right?
at the mountain.
Nere buruan nago. Beti nere buruan nago. I'm always in my head. Buru, head, burua, head, buruan, in head, right? But nere buruan nago. I am always in my head. Right? Beti nere buruan nago. Right? And that's where it's like really cool. Like it's when you can become abstract with it, when you start to realize that, and that's exactly what language is. Language is so abstract. And you think like, you know, yeah, there's a lot of things that are different, but you know, like a phrase like that, like an expression like that, I am in my head. It generally translates across languages, right? And it's abstract. Like we think like at home, right, in a bar, but then it's like, no, in my head. I am in my head, right? Same thing. And just knowing that end, you can put together so much stuff with such basic, knowing in, on, at, from, right? Either goa, koa, or tik, right? To, right? Right? Can you say mendian? Of course. On the mountain, right? Nora soas. Where are you going? Nora soas. To where? Nora soas. Where are you going? Mendida. To the mountain. Nora, nun, is where. Nora is to where, that RA, to where. This brings us back to this no nori, right? How this RI means to, right? It's also RA, right? And that's very, I think that's overall very easy for us as English speakers to grasp that to. That's because it's very similar. It's not a huge difference in you know, the linguistic ability. RI, RA, right? Nori, to who, nora, where to. Right? Nori, to who, nora, to where. Right? It's kind of, yeah. Right. Any questions?
No one asked me.
What's that?
Anybody? Any questions? How did that feel?
Good. All right. We're back in the swing.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I anticipate spending many more weekends with you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
So
Yes,
don't.
we do.
I know we took a bit of a hiatus.
It was nice though.
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
It was
and
good.
I know it can feel kind of difficult to like get back into the swing where you're like, fuck, you know, I didn't study over that hiatus, and now I feel like I'm back. But we're still very much so at the beginning, chapter 1, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progress. I have no anticipations of leaving, like going to the Basque Country this year or anything. Yeah, maybe for a week or something, but not to go stay. So I plan on staying here and teaching all year.
Right, all right.
So hopefully, I'm looking forward to the progress.
Okay.
You know?
I thought he was gonna be like.
Time to do my
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Well, maybe we can take a class field trip.
Yeah.
That's where I thought you were going at that time.
Yeah.